So the main event for this weekend's card is Rafael Dos Anjos fighting against Vicente Luque in the main event. Vicente Luque took a lot of damage in his bout against Jeff Neal. He was out for a bit. He sustained a brain injury according to the reports. So I don't know how they're still able to book this fight. That stuff is very serious, but nonetheless, RDA is going to be fighting against him. Now, Vicente Luque, but prior to his loss to Jeff Neal, and I believe his loss to Bilal Muhammad, he was on a very good win streak. RDA was down at lightweight for a bit. He himself suffered a pretty bad TKO loss, or KO, however you want to look at it, against Rafael Dos Anjos. Got caught with a nice setup feint hook off of like feinted the knee and it landed a hook as RDA was trying to crowd up. Wasn't able to get much of his grappling going. But you know, we've seen in his comeback fight, in his comeback to welterweight, he submitted Brian Barberena very with ease, really, like with ease. And Barberena was coming off of a pretty quality win over Robbie Lawler. TKO'd him. It was a fight of the night. So now that RDA is back in the welterweight division, what is he going to have to offer, right? Because he's lost to Colby Covington, lost to Kamaru Usman, lost to Leon Edwards. He's lost to Michael Chiesa, although I wish that fight was at a bigger cage, but that's just me complaining. Either way, if he's coming up to welterweight, what is he going to do to make things different? Now, going against Vicente Luque has a monster of a fucking left hook, but he's kind of getting caught timing-wise against his opponent. They've scouted the left hook weapon, almost how he has it on like a hair trigger, and I believe RDA could do something similar to what Bilal Muhammad did in order to defeat Vicente Luque. They don't want to get caught with a sub there. So we'll see. You know, he's had RDA, you know, in his last 4 fights, you know, he's 3-1 in his last 4 fights. Not too shabby. And it's really hard. That physique finish, it's been a long time since RDA's been finished. And the odds makers have this potential, you know, we don't know what can happen, but, you know, this bout dead on even, which is really interesting. I think if it was a little bit earlier prior to the Jeff Neal loss, I think Vicente Luque would have been a massive favorite, right? A massive favorite. But we'll see. Of course, this is like a battle of old guard versus new guard. Charles Oliveira, obviously no longer the champion. Makhachev is the champion, but, you know, it was a while since the lightweight division had a Brazilian champion, and Charles Oliveira was the most recent one. So it's a nice little matchup here. And I love using RDA. I love using him on UFC 4. He has better respect on his stats. I've used him in to win the esports belt against Bathing Ash, or Bathing Adam, however you know him. He was a very good pick against the Jorge Masvidal. His only thing is that, you know, with him in welterweight, he's still just good. I think his health stats are just slightly better. Lightweight, he's still a very solid pick if you learn how to land your strikes accordingly. He does have access to force of nature, but part of the times it doesn't feel like it's working. It's because the range or the move levels on his punches aren't exactly that high. So it kind of balances him out, but he has nasty body kicks, as you can see right here in the replay. And of course, yes, I know we're in lightweight. The bout is in a welterweight, but guess what? I wasn't fucking waiting. I missed the window of my head. He's in 2 weight classes. Let's just take what we can get here, right? But good round so far. I think with Vicente Luque, I'm just a little bit concerned for his health, honestly. I really am. That loss against Jeff Neal, he took a hellacious amount of damage. I think it was 1-1 heading into the third, if I'm not mistaken, but that sequence prior to him getting finished by Jeff Neal was, whew, it was bad. You gotta remember, these guys are human. They put their lives on the line. Hey, okay, they put their lives on the line to give us these amazing fights, and I'm surprised he's been cleared to fight again, but we'll see. I mean, if you want to look at it in a dark way, I mean, if you're concerned about, you know, coming back up to welterweight again, if you're not going back down to, what the hell? That was a interesting spike there. If you're concerned about going up to welterweight, fighting somebody who hits that hard, I mean, you know, he's coming off of that, he might be a little bit more gun shy, right? If you're looking at it from a strictly strategic point of view. So we'll see what RDA is going to have to offer. I think if any game plan is going to work for RDA, I think he's going to try to emulate what Bilal Muhammad did. The only difference is that RDA doesn't really switch his stance too much. He did a lot in lightweight a couple times when it came to mixing up like off of his hooks, but he would kind of like shift off of the left hook and then use that to kind of set up a power kick with his right leg and then get back to a southpaw. But if he's going to try to play that game against Vicente Luque, he needs to be on point for 5 rounds. I don't think trying to fish for a finish would be in his favor. Uh-oh. So, however intelligently RDA chooses to approach this bout, I think that's going to determine how well he does, obviously. So, I mean, that's as obvious as you can fucking make it, but have a good fucking game plan. So, Charles is good. It's pretty not too shabby, Charles. Charles is owner of the glitch kick, if y'all know, so always be aware of that. Try to be ready to sidestep. He's also nasty, of course, on the ground. His body kick, good kicks. He really needs Oliveira really needs a buff on his rear high kick after the new initial win, but I don't think we're gonna see any. Oh. Whew. Okay, I don't think we're going to see any buffs to anybody's move levels until the next iteration of the game, unfortunately. So, gotta make Duke what we got. I think this is what we're going to end up finishing off with. RDA, UFC 3, he got like a crazy ass health nerf in lightweight for whatever fucking reason, and that made no sense whatsoever. Because he lost to Eddie Alvarez, body rock. Got kind of caught the edge of that counter punch. Get him out. Okay, no. He got caught just at that. He was kind of beating up Eddie for like most of that round, hitting the temple with a good shot, and then the ref called a standing TKO, which for some people they didn't really like that. I mean, I understood why. Sweep. But then the Tony Ferguson fight came after that, and he won. RDA won the first round. I believe it was some judges had to fight 48-47 for Tony, and not 49-46. But it really didn't help that he got his eye poked by Tony Ferguson. And y'all need to go on. That was a nice front kick. Y'all need to go on Google and look up Tony Ferguson eye poke on RDA, because that shit was bad. Like, it was a really, really bad eye poke. It was a really bad one. But we'll see. RDA still believes he can compete at a high level, and I don't blame him. This guy has one of the deepest resumes I've ever seen in UFC history. In terms of, this dude has fought pretty much the who's of every division that he's been at. And what makes RDA's career so crazy is that he's basically a Hall of Fame contender if you really think about it, right? We're seeing guys who haven't even sniffed the title getting Hall of Fame for their fights, etc., etc. But if we think about Rafael Dos Anjos' resume, right? He's a champion in the lightweight division, has defenses in the division as well. Went up a weight class, beat a former undisputed champion, and when he beat Robbie Lawler, I'm pretty sure that was before the Askin loss. I'm pretty sure Robbie Lawler was still like, I think he was like 6-1 in his last 7 fights. He had the loss to Tyron Woodley, beat Donald Cerrone, and then Rafael Dos Anjos fought him. So he didn't fight Robbie Lawler on a losing streak. He fought Robbie Lawler, fucked up his leg with some good kicks, and worked him for 5 rounds. And that's when he really announced himself in welterweight. Obviously competed for the interim title. Came up short against Colby, Usman, Leon Edwards. And, hasn't really found himself back in title contention since, but not a lot of fighters can do what RDA has done. And he started out his career with a brutal fucking loss to Jeremy Stephens, like a hellacious uppercut. Then he lost his next fight by decision, by the kick. And I think his jaw broke against Clay Guida, I think from like the neck crank or something. So the fight had to be called due to like a jaw injury. Wasn't seen for like a year since then. Lost a split decision to Gleason Tebow. And then went on a pretty legit win streak. Lost to Khabib. Khabib's out for injury. Goes on another crazy win streak. Wins the title. Like, absolutely beats the crap out of Anthony Pettis. So he has wins over multiple title challengers. Multiple undisputed UFC champions. Like, he's legit. Right, he is legit. And it's about time that he gets the respect that he deserves, you know. And I think that RDA is a clear Hall of Fame candidate when his career is done. But we'll see how much he has left in the tank after this weekend, because this fight is going to be important for him to win. And we're going to close the show beautifully right there with the rear body kick. RDA, one of RDA's best weapons. His TKO win over Donald Cerrone, he showcased that kick very well. But that's going to be it. Just going to have a little one and done. I think it's going to be a while before welterweight and middleweight. So maybe I'll go on a quick fight and try to get Vicente Luque done real quick before I leave for this weekend. But yeah, look at that. That southpaw body kick. I be telling y'all. When it lands on the liver, that extra damage adds up beautifully. Yeah, let me know in the comment section, who do you have winning this bout? By how? Or how long you think it's going to go until a finish happens? Why do you think it is? I want to get you guys' thoughts on this matchup, because this is really a matchup. What the hell is up with his eye? Hey, yo! His eye's fucked up. Alright. This is like a matchup we didn't really see coming. But that's going to be it. Romero 17, I appreciate all of you. Much love. Like, subscribe, all that. I'm out of here.